guys, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who don't know, my name is Mercy and you are welcome. So I'm just gonna get right into it because it's kind of getting dark and the lighting is not amazing right now. So today I want to talk about standing out. As Christians, we're supposed to stand out, and you hear this a lot: stand out, be different. You know, what does that kind of all mean? So to me, as a Christian, we weren't put on this earth to fit in. We weren't put on this earth to mix in with the world. We're supposed to stand out. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Right. And then the scripture goes on to say, you wouldn't light a lamp and put it under the table. Do you know what I mean? So, and I mean, that makes sense. You're the light of the world. You can't have this light in you. You can't have the light of Christ in you and then hide it and put it under a table or mix in with the darkness. You can't mix with the darkness if you are of Christ. You can't mix, you got to choose what side you're on. And this video is to kind of challenge somebody who's in a situation where they're kind of in the light, kind of in the darkness. You know, you need to come out of that. Like, the time will come where you need to know where you stand. You can't do that. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve the master of the darkness and the master of the light. It just makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense. Revelations 3:16 says, "If you're lukewarm, you will be spat out." You're either hot or you're cold. Know which one you're on. Choose what side you're going to be on, because it's coming to a point where the devil is really recruiting. He's seeing who is hot and who is cold. And if he sees that you're hot and you know you are hot, you know where you stand and you're firm, he won't try you. He won't even bother. But if you're just like you're floating in and out of the world with Christ, that one is easier to snatch because they're not firm in Christ. They're not firm in who they are. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the world, but be transformed by a daily renewal of your mind. You are on this earth, but you're not part of the world. This is just a transition stage. You're just passing through. Heaven is your final destination. Heaven is the final place. You're just on this earth to pass through. It's not your home. It's not your own. So don't conform to the things of the world, because they are things that will be here today and be gone tomorrow. Don't sit around and think these things are permanent. They're really not. The money you make now can be gone in 2 seconds. You're not permanently here. Don't conform to the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Daily transformation of the mind. Because if you get too comfortable here, the devil will come and it'll be easy for him to tempt you, and you will fall into that temptation because you're just there. This is a transition. What's it called when you're on a flight and then you're going somewhere, and then in the middle you stop at somewhere? Is it it's not transition, it's not transaction, it's you know what I mean. But it's a transition, like transit. You're in transit, isn't it? Yeah, something like that. You're passing through. A friend of mine wrote a song and she said, "Heaven is the final place. This home, I'm just passing through." You're just walking, like you're just on your way. You haven't reached your destination, and that's what the Christian faith is all about. It's a journey to a destination. And I say this all the time in my videos. The final place, the cross, the finish line is heaven. That's where it all ends. When you go and you're in heaven, then you know you have walked the good faith and you have run the race. Until you get there, mate, know which side you're on, know where you are, know who you are, and know what you have been called to do, and know that you're a son and daughter of the light and not the darkness. It's as simple as that. Know where you are, know where you stand. Because if you don't know where you stand, if you're just in the middle, the devil can quickly snatch you away. He can just recruit you. He's recruiting. You don't know. He's really recruiting. He can just come and it will be gone in a second. In a second. Another thing, don't, what's it called? I forgot what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? I actually forgot what I was gonna say. This is awkward. What was I gonna say? Stand out. Got it. Dare to be a Daniel. Dare to be different. Right. Part of being a Christian, as I said, is not to fit in. It's to stand out. It's to be different. If you see a crowd of people going one direction, pardon the pun, going in one direction, as a Christian, you go the opposite direction, because your job is to be different and to stand out. You don't want to be caught mixing light with the darkness. The light that God has put in you, you cannot put under a bloody table. You can't do that. It says a town set on a hill cannot be hidden. Like, it's on a hill, you can see it. And that's the same with the light that's within us. It has to be seen. It has to be seen. Don't mix it. What I mean by dare to be a Daniel, if you know the story of Daniel, you know that Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys, they were brought into into King Nebuchadnezzar's palace, castle, whatever you want to call it, and they were set before them delicacies. I'm talking king food fit for a king, and these Hebrew boys said, no, we will not defile ourselves. We will have water and vegetables. Now let me break it down for you. If you're invited to now go to the Queen's Palace, you're invited to go to Buckingham Palace, and they set before you things you've never heard of, food you have never eaten. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to sit and eat the Queen's and the King's food. Would you really say no? Would you really say no, just give me water and vegetable? Would you? For real now? Nah, for real, would you really? Cause boy, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, would I really? No, I'm joking, but for real, like, they passed that and said, no, we will not defile ourselves. What they mean by defile is they will not destroy themselves. They will not. Defile it's self-explanatory. You don't want to destroy your body. You don't want to destroy your spirit in this sense, in these terms. You want to be different. You want to be clean. You want to be pure. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I'm just talking to myself right now because, I'm feeling something right now. But yeah, dare to be a Daniel. And you know what? Daring to be a Daniel is not the easiest thing in life. Trust me, it's not. When your friends are all going one way and you just say, nah guys, I can't come, I'm so sorry, I got church, you will be humiliated. You will be like, you will have friends leave you. But in that time, that's when you know who your friends really are. That's when you know who is really for you and who is really against you, who is just there for the time being. You know, we have these seasonal friends. I'm digressing. We have these seasonal friends that will come just for a season, just for a little while, just small time. They will come and they will go. In the time when you're trying to be a Daniel, God will really put tests in front of you and he will say, are you really following me? Are you really gonna come? Because it's not an easy road. Jesus didn't say that this life will be easy. He says there will be tribulations, there will be trials, and in this time where you're waiting for the return, you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested. Newsflash, it's not going to be easy. Being a Christian ain't easy. Go watch my other video. It's not bloody easy. Trust me, it's not. Especially when you're in school or you're in college or university, whatever it is, in an institution in this generation, it's not easy. So standing out is something that you have to ask God for and say, Lord, help me to stand out and be different. What I notice is when you're different, people sort of treat you differently. it's not even like they treat you differently in a bad sense, but they treat you differently because they know you're different. People weren't like, I made it clear that I'm a Christian. My actions were clear. When people ask me, when my friends are like, oh Mercy, let's go this, let's go this party, this whatever, let's do this, let's do that, I'm like, no, you know I can't do that. You know I can't. You know I can't do that. Because I have church, I have this, I have that, I've got this, and they know I'm always in ministry, I'm always in church, so they don't even bother anymore. I got to a point where they didn't bother anymore. And doing that, at one point, you know what, at first I was just like, oh, like, am I not involved? But then you realise you're not missing out on anything. You're really not missing out on anything. And it's a thing of, I'm going to say this again and again in this video, you're not here to fit in. And that's a mistake that I made when I started college. I tried to fit in, I wanted to fit in, but it's not a thing of fitting in. I'm a Christian, and the whole point of my life is to stand out and to let Christ shine through my life. I am a vessel, that's what I am. I'm not on this earth just because, I'm not just here to just mess about, no. I've got a purpose. I know what my purpose is, and I'm going to do that purpose until the day that Christ returns or the day he calls me home. And I made that decision on my own. So it's now your turn to make that decision. If you're at a point in your life where you're a bit wishy-washy, you're lukewarm, the Bible says he will spit you out, you know. You have to be hot or cold. Are you a son of the light or the darkness? Make your decision before it's too late. Before it's too late, make that decision and know where you stand. Know where you stand, because Christ is coming back. Don't get me started on that. He's coming back, and he's looking for people that are hot, not cold, who are of the light and not darkness. You can't serve two masters. So whose side are you on? That's the question. I got a song in my head, sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys have been blessed by this video. It's looking a bit long, so I'm gonna cut it here. I had a few scriptures written down, I've used them all, and I've kind of run out of things to say, but I haven't run out of things to say. I've got more things to say, but right now they're not really in order in my head, so I'm gonna stop right here. And yeah, until next time, yeah, like, comment, share, get this message out there. Like, it's time for us to choose what side we're on. Don't mix light with darkness. Yeah, so until next time, yes. When I hear people say, oh, you make me complete, blah 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 blah, like, I'm like, no, he doesn't make you complete. God makes you complete, not him. Okay.